I'm gonna go ahead and call the meeting to order at 1:31 p.m. We don't have any minutes for the last meeting, so if somebody just wants to move reading of the minutes to the next meeting, that's kind of what we're gonna have to do,
So
so.
make a motion when you read it last meeting's minutes at the next meeting.
What he said, I second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. It passes. Move to next meeting, whenever that's gonna be. We're gonna have two small items today, and the first one was to talk about moving some money over from the donations reserve fund over to the budget for use for kennels. This would just be a recommendation that goes to the county commission, because it has to be a budget man to move money over. Miss Amy sent me a thing this morning, or actually this afternoon, with the updated calculation for the reserve balance. Currently, there's $15,947.77 in the reserves. And what was the request? Was it?
So I have two requests. One is the van that we have needs something to keep the dogs obviously in a kennel. Now, regular kennels won't really work because they move, the dog slides around, things like that. I found one. The company is called Get My Point. It's those bird dog type kennels that are, they look like honeycombs, so they're a little bit more durable. And they are a little more expensive, however, they'll last longer. And then in the event that we need to, it can be moved around. That is $1,423.54. So I asked to amend the budget for $1,500. Now, shipping is the biggest variable in that cost, because the estimate was for $332. With prices and things, because this unit is shipped already assembled, the shipping could be a little bit different.
Is it made for this vehicle
It is made.
specifically, or?
It is made for these types of vehicle. I have already sent information to the company what it's going into, so they gave me dimensions on how many that we could put in there, and 3. We said we could do 5, but I don't think 5 were necessary.
3 across the back,
3.
or 2 across the back, 1 on the side?
I think it's going to be 3 across the back, and so we can open up the back door and look inside, and you'll see the kennels themselves.
So you can get 3 of them for $1,400.
Yes, the kennels themselves weren't going to be $1,400. The kennels are $770, but they have pads that absorb waste. We also don't have good heating and air flowing through the back, so I was also thinking that these pads are absorbent. So maybe in the summer we could use those as some sort of cooling system, keeping the pads moist or cold or frozen, some way to help cool the dogs themselves. So that was the mindset of the whole cost, thinking about how to be official with what they're in. Any questions about kennels?
We can look them up.
And then the second one is for the kennels in the shelter itself. So the ones that we have now, and we may not have to go with this one, but I'm looking for something that we can get better everything. And I think one will kind of help with another point that I'm going to bring is that these kennels are up off the floor. The problem that I'm having with the drains, that's another concern, is that these dogs are sitting on the floor. And if you know anything about dogs, dogs like to have things, and if they are on the floor absorbing the things, then the best thing to do is get them up off the floor, and that's what these kennels do. Now, going back to the drains themselves, this has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but the drain in the faucet runs through the water, or the drains themselves, all the way down through all the kennels. So if I'm cleaning kennels, everything is cross-contaminated. So that can help eliminate that cross-contamination with these kennels up off the floor. The ones that I have looked into, the company is called Stone Mountain Pet Products. These are the ones that you'll typically see in a pet facility, like a vet's office or, a boarding facility, things like that. These are those standard kennels for dogs. And the cost that I have is quoted for $7,881.
Will they go inside the current kennel?
They will,
How would you place them?
I was hoping to.
Just out of curiosity.
For sure. I was hoping to remove the brick inside and have
Ah.
these.
Yeah,
Now, I don't want to,
it might give you more room
sure, I
to
don't want
add
to,
more.
right, I don't want to trash the brick because I want to use it in later projects. However, I think that it would be more efficient if we take the current brick out and put these kennels in.
7881 a piece,
No, so that's all 4 of them.
so you're getting 4 of those.
I have the breakdown of what is the cost is. So 4 kennels are $654. And then they have side paneling. I've got the breakdown if you want to see that. However, we did have a donation of $3,000 for these kennels.
Right.
So the only thing that we would need is the remainder of that, which is $4,881. And those are the 2 budget amendments that I had.
We gonna go separately or together, or
Probably better do them separately, because you're gonna use them for 2 different expenditures, and one of them will go for more like a vehicle expenditure, and the other one's a building expenditure. So, what is the total you're asking? You said $1,500 on the van. So that would be, $1,500 for the kennels for the van, correct?
That's correct.
Is there any questions on the van kennels or thoughts on the van kennels?
sneaky.
Anybody have a motion on that one?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll say,
Motion to approve, moving $1,500 from the donation reserves to the animal shelter budget to buy kennels for the van. The correct statement?
Yes, sir.
And seconded by Ms. Turner.
yes, sir.
Is there any further discussion or questions on that? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed, say no. Pass. All right, the next item, you said it was $7,881 for the kennels for the shelter. Is that the exact amount you're asking for, or are you asking for a little bit more? What amount is it you would like to have
I'm
for that?
asking for the remainder, so it would be, I would say that to be on the safe side, it'd be 5,000, because like I said, we have that 3.
Well, you've got the 3, but it's sitting in that donation, so you need to
I
move.
still need to have it moved over,
Yeah, you
okay.
need to move whatever the total amount is, because right now you're moving everything from a donation reserve to your budget.
Okay,
So that the donation is not sitting in the budget already, it's over here in the reserve.
right, so it would be the full cost.
Uh-huh.
So I would say that, to be safe would be the full 8,000.
$1,000. Okay. Is there any motion on moving?
I'll make a motion to move the money from the donations to their budget, so she can purchase up the $8,000 worth of kennels for the building.
Is there a second? Motion to move $8,000 from the donation reserve over to the animal shelter budget for installing kennels in the animal shelter building. Seconded by Ms. Turner. Is there any further discussion?
How many kennels are you gonna have to tear out, or brick walls are you gonna have to tear out to get 4 pens in there? How big are these pens?
So these pins are 4x6s, so
They like, the one, like most of them are like this
Mhm.
size of this, pretty much. Just,
That's 3.
So it would be, it would probably be the 4. There's one that we are currently using as storage, so probably the 4 on, if you're looking in the building on the left side.
Will they all not fit in the big pen on the right, or is that being used for something else? I hadn't been down there in a while.
I don't think that they would fit in that area.
I don't think they would to where you could access them properly.
Right.
Like you could probably cram them in there,
Mhm.
that you wouldn't be able to access. So like one would block the other, you wouldn't be able to get a door open all the way.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you said they're this big, and I know how big the pen is that we're talking about. We'll get this table in that pen, so I don't understand. Are they not gonna be stacked? Are they just on the ground?
They're gonna be on the ground. Mhm. They're gonna be large,
All 4 of them are on the ground.
yes. They're gonna be large walk-in.
And I'm
They're not stacked.
Guessing at the size, just going from what I've seen like at Dr. Town's office.
See, we keep reverting back to the vet's office, and they're stacked.
You're talking about just the basic kennels. I'm talking about the runs. They're outdoor runs.
Okay.
You see, I'm confused, I got confused on that. I was thinking of the,
The stackable ones.
Yes.
Mhm, I'm talking about the
so
ones.
pretend like I didn't say anything.
These are
Bring
the
them
ones
on.
that you'll see, like in a boarding facility, or if they're recovering from surgery, things like that. If you're going back to the vet's office, but these are the bigger ones.
But they have bottoms in them.
They'll have bottoms and feet.
Onward.
Did you want to perhaps look at this?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Any other questions? Seeing no other questions, all in favor of moving $8,000 from the donation reserve over to the animal shelter budget, or making a recommendation to the county commission to move $8,000 over from the donation reserve to the animal shelter budget, say aye. Any opposed, say no. Passes. Okay. Next item of business I have is update from the animal shelter director. Director Trout, I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, so, the few things that I have to update would be that, the building itself needs repairs. And I'm hoping to put out advertisement, to get some bids on the work that we need done. I did previous talk about a nonprofit organization working with the shelter. We have actually, someone has reached out to us and wants to help us, and it's actually formerly Dreamland. It's the people that ran Dreamland.
Yes.
They have renamed it to Friends of Hartsville-Trousdale County Animals, and they're going to help us in that capacity as far as a nonprofit. So we'll be able to do some fundraisers and different things like that to kind of help grow what we've got now. We did talk about the mural for the building. It's a little sore subject with me currently, just because I was hoping that we would already have this possibly going. But maybe some hiccups have come from the person that is going to do this, and so I'm still trying to figure out what's going on. The last update I got from that person was that they can't paint in the rain, which is obvious, and then also that it would have to be a little bit warmer just because the paint would be, have to dry and things like that. So I'm still working on that, but hopefully we'll be able to move forward. Maybe not with this person. If that person says, I'm unable to commit to it, which is fine, no hard feelings, we'll find someone else. And then I've also talked about the city ordinance for, rules and ordinances and animals for the city. I've been working with Mr. Beller. I did reach out to see if we had he did mention to me something about a kind of rough draft of the things that we had been talking about. As soon as I get that, I can try to, go from there, but, the biggest thing that I really want to focus on is the building itself and repairs on it. That's what all.
So you're working on like dogs at large, dogs on leashes and things like that?
Yes, sir. I'm hoping to.
It seems like we're getting more and more dogs running around town is what I'm seeing.
I'm hoping to change this shelter to animal control. Because of that reason, I get more calls, more inquiries, whether it be by the phone, by text, or by Facebook, that dogs and cats are at large, and I'm trying to keep up, but there's been so much going on that just, one full-time person it's a little difficult. But like I said, my goal is to see about, moving towards animal control. I have been going to some training for animal control, so myself would be getting those trainings and certificates. Yeah, so hopefully, as it moves forward in that aspect, we'll have someone to be that person when we get there. And then we can, if we're able to, bring on someone else that can be an animal control officer.
I like the idea of the mural. One other thing you might think about sometime is renting like the billboards from Ronnie Ertz, with the phone number and stuff. I think everybody would see it, not everybody's gonna see the mural, but if you had both.
Sure.
I think a lot more people than you think because of the convenience center.
Convenience center, yeah.
I think once we get it moving forward, I think, a lot more people will realize, because I was able to have the address on Google, able to, pinpoint it down on our building. We're getting a lot more, people coming to the building rather than going up to the meat processing plant, but,
It's almost creepy.
it is, but in that aspect, I think the more awareness, more people know we're there. Obviously, more people know we're there, more people give us a call, but.
Well,
Maybe donate.
people are
Yes,
seeing your hard work, so it's increasing.
Right. I'd like to, move forward in some sort of cat capacity. We don't do anything with cats. We have tons of people talking about cats, stray and feral alike. So, just had somebody today talk about a cat and even get out of a tree. So
It's
we're
out.
there. Do you have any questions?
I'm just really proud of all your hard work.
Yes, thank you.
Very proud.
I'm really excited for our nonprofit, if anybody is interested in being involved in that. Oh, I'm planning on doing I was hoping to get on a grant opportunity, but I think we kind of missed it. But anyway, it doesn't, as far as that goes, I'm not as concerned as the grant as much as the purpose. I do want the grant, but I'm saying, it's called Return to Home, and we're gonna be doing a fundraiser for that. It's to try to get people to get their animals microchipped and tagged and have more of a community awareness of returning the animal to its home rather than coming to the shelter where I feel like I'm an animal broker.
Or people want to rehome it. Or they look for the owner.
That's all I have.
All right. Does any board member have anything to bring up, or questions, or comments, or ideas, or updates from them?
Dean's an artist, and he may be interested in the mural. You'll just have to talk to him and see. I don't know.
Who?
Dean, the guy that runs the paper route for us.
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
He's quite good. He could copy any picture in here, he can draw people. He's real good.
I would,
Let's go up there and talk to him. He's there now. Well, actually, he's making his rounds. He may be here somewhere. I don't know.
I don't know if I've met him, but I'll go up there and see if I can talk to him.
He's there from 6 to 2.
Okay.
2:30 every day, 6 to 2, 2:30.
You said Dean,
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely do that.
He may be interested in doing it. I don't know.
I'll give us a couple things.
Well, I might have a donor to be able to accommodate him.
Mhm.
Whether it be supplies or a small fee or, you know, something like that. But, if he's interested, if he would, you know, just let me know and tell me what his costs are and his fee,
Okay,
you know, for the things.
right,
So, yeah, I think I might have a donor.
okay. Well, just talk to him. Like I said, he may not be interested. I don't know. He used to do this stuff for free, but he's gotten out where he's so busy that he's starting to charge for it. So there'll definitely be a cost involved, but I just don't know how
Sure.
much it'll be.
Right, for this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. That big old building, absolutely.
You gonna put it on the front side?
Mhm.
Yeah, that'll look good.
If anybody knows anybody about, signs, you know, the sign on your, fence, I'd like to have a sign or two made for my building. I can never find, you know, that type of metal sign
Yeah,
to put on the building.
Miss Atwood does that. Yeah, here at Hartsville.
Horse
So I didn't think
Vegas.
that.
Oh, I didn't know she did that.
Yeah.
I knew she did
She
shirts.
does it all in there.
She does, she did some signs.
Really?
Wow.
Well, whoever
And
did it.
then the printing company here too, you could probably check, see who give you the best price. I mean, they do it elsewhere, but you go through them.
For who?
The printing company.
I didn't know we had a new print
What?
company.
Volunteer printing, isn't it?
Where
No,
are they at?
I'm talking about the,
King
How
County.
about agriculture,
Metal
cattle
color.
kings?
Okay.
Where were they at?
behind the concrete plant.
Well, whoever did.
They moved here from Nashville.
Okay, I was living in a cave.
I think they actually do the signs in Dallas or something, but you go through them.
Well,
I'll definitely ask them. I've been going everywhere trying to find it and obviously didn't look it right here in front of my face.
Yeah, Miss Atwood's good.
Yeah, I miss that looks really good.
Somebody else has anything, I'll accept the motion to adjourn.
Most of your
Motion to adjourn by Mr. Presley,
look at them.
second by Mr. Turner.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
All in favor?
that means they gotta go back to work.
Uh-huh.
Maybe I